In this edition of City News, we'll show you how some residents spent their Earth Day. Also see why this group held a workshop. Plus, we'll show you how police canines and their handlers take a bite out of crime. These stories and much more coming up on City News. Hello and welcome to City News. I'm Jennifer Murillo. More than 30 service agencies came together for the 7th annual Hawthorne Community Service Provider Resource Fair and Earth Day Festival. Zarina Carazada has more.
From recycling drop-offs to more than 30 service providers, one resident says this event is an eye-opener for younger generations.
It's great because it's motivating them to go out and try new things. They're learning about water saving and about the environment.
Cal Water, American Red Cross, and Holly Park Homeowners Association were just a few of the different booths available and ready to answer any questions.
We have the community coming in because they need the services.
We have a sense of community, people networking, getting the service information that they need.
Beyond the booths, more than 20 bicycles and gift cards were raffled off throughout the event.
Growing up, I never had a bike. My parents coming from overseas had really nothing to their name, so I felt that at this time, donating bikes to the children of Hawthorne, meant something to me.
Residents also received free compost and paper shredding, both services that would normally put a minor dent in a wallet.
This is a way of us giving back. This material is taken from front yards, lawns, green waste from the green waste container. We compost it and we bring it back. Bringing
all these services and organizations in the community together is something Mayor Pro Tem Angie Reyes English says is needed.
People have a great thirst to learn and have more, and so it's important as a leader to bring that to the people.
Watching new generations discover how to take care of the planet is another thing.
To have the kids and the parents go to each booth and at least learn one little thing or see something new that's great. I mean, that's something I can't do sitting at a desk.
The compost residents picked up reduced the amount of waste going into a landfill, a win-win for the community and Earth. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Carazada.
If you would like more information about future city events, visit www.cityofhawthorne.org and click on the Community Events tab. More than 20 teams came out to play in the 27th annual Hawthorne Parks and Recreation Foundation Golf Tournament. The money raised will repair and replace a broken fence, baseball net, and other park equipment at Cordery Field in Jim Thorpe Park.
I decided to play because I wanted to support the Parks and Rec Foundation. My interest is always to support the city of Hawthorne.
More than $10,000 was raised in this year's tournament. For more details and to see the entire tournament, stay tuned to Channel 22. When a criminal goes into hiding, they might count on human error during a police search, but officers say most suspects know it's time to give up when they see their four-legged partners. Zarina Carazada tells us more about Hawthorne Police Department's canine recruits.
Meet canine handlers Officer Sarah Lewis and Officer Eric Martin. They spend day and night training, working, and watching their partners, Mychal and Tango's backs.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best job on the department, hands down.
There's absolutely no better partner in the world.
Both canines follow their nose, but in different areas. Mychal spends his day on patrol and can detect odors from narcotics. Tango also goes on patrols, but his specialty is bomb detection.
He's never found a device, and I hope that he never does.
The canines understand commands in Dutch, like this. Mychal, laut, off.
Good boy.
Both canines were born and trained in Europe. After the initial training, they were sent to another facility in the U.S. before they were employed by the department.
I actually had to learn a little bit of Dutch in order to communicate with him.
4-year-old Mychal, a Dutch Shepherd, and 2.5-year-old Tango, a Belgian Malinois, respond to commands instinctively.
Through.
Because like any other dog, it's just another game when a criminal decides to play hide and seek.
Was a guy that was in a false ceiling that nobody would have found. The minute this dog got upstairs and showing that interest, and that's what we look for, is that change of behavior, that interest. We knew he was in the ceiling.
After 5 to 7 years of fighting crime, these canines will retire and live out the rest of their days as a normal dog. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Karzada.
Canines Mychal and Tango will receive protective vests in May. For more on the canines' daily life, follow them on Instagram at Hawthorne Police. Resolve to Rise is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to stopping and preventing sexual assault and recently held a workshop at the Hawthorne Police Department Community Room. Francisco Castillo gives us the details.
Yolanda Dunn has had some traumatic experiences throughout her life.
I am a survivor of sexual assault at the hands of my dad and one of my older brothers, as well as, sadly, I have to admit that my daughter was violated by her half-brother while she was at the care of her father.
This is why she founded Resolve to Rise, with a mission to dedicate and ensure the welfare, wellness, and well-being of children, adolescents, and adults by raising awareness against sexual assault.
Being that I've experienced the anguish as a survivor, as a victim then, and also a mother of a survivor, I really want to make sure that we can do anything possible where someone else doesn't experience what we've gone through.
Dunn partnered up with the Hawthorne Police Department in 2011 to hold a workshop that provides information to any and all that show up to the presentation.
We're trying to bring people to basically support sexual awareness, to teach their kids about their body parts and what could be touched and what could not be touched and what's friendly and what's not friendly.
Keynote speaker Detective Christina Chirillo gave the website for Megan's Law, where the public can find out where sex offenders are living today.
And you can go on there and it'll just show you a map and you'll be shocked. Get ready, because you're gonna see all those red dots, all these people that are around you. It's quite freaky.
Owner of Systems Training Center Marcus Howl held a small presentation on how to fight back.
Today we were going over how to deal with the choke from the front if someone's choking you, how to get rid of the thumbs, which is what's causing the choke, and then you have to fight back. If the mindset has got to be from going from being the victim to the aggressor.
No matter how big the assailant might be, it truly doesn't matter. If it's basically just knowing the techniques to take down anyone.
According to Howl, knowing how to take down someone can be the difference between becoming a victim and being a survivor. For HCTV, I'm Francisco Castillo.
If you would like more information or would like to attend a future workshop, visit www.resolvetorise.org. If you would like more information about Megan's Law, you can also visit www.meganslaw.ca.gov. Coming up next on City News, we'll show you why we were inside the Hawthorne Mall. Also, find out how a local organization is helping adults with special needs prepare for the workforce. There's more news ahead. We'll be right back. Welcome back. While car racing can be restricted to certain areas, aerial racing can happen almost anywhere. We take you inside the Hawthorne Mall to show you what was happening.
Drones have become increasingly popular in the last couple of years, and one man created a league for them to compete. The first level season opener was at Sun Life Stadium in Miami.
We're elevating it to the level of Formula One to have global competitions on a grand scale in lots of interesting locations.
The Drone Racing League, or DRL, held their second race of the season here in the city of Hawthorne.
The Hawthorne Mall is a really unique space. You have a complete shopping mall that's been abandoned for several years, but is large enough that you can have a large-scale drone race in it. You don't find a lot of buildings like this, especially in the middle of a city like Los Angeles. And we've had a lot of fun coming here to Hawthorne and the mall and experiencing this community.
12 pilots come from all over the world to compete in each race.
Our races take place on three-dimensional courses that we build in interesting spaces like this one. So we'll design a course and we'll put gates around them that the pilots need to go through, and then they follow that course.
The three-dimensional aspect of this course, the graffiti and everything around it, just a natural, it's like an FPV paradise for us.
This is my type of set. Miami was a big open thing and I wasn't really into it, but this is nice, tight, really complicated course, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun here.
The races are composed of 3 stages, a qualifying, a semifinal, and a final round, where only 4 of the pilots are left to determine a winner. Those with the most points will qualify for the World Championship race, where winner takes all.
The pilots wear a pair of goggles and they see what the drone sees. There's a little camera on the front of the drone. So it's completely immersive and your brain is fooled into thinking that you're the drone flying at 80 miles an hour through a hallway. So it really gets your heart pumping.
It's like no other feeling in the world. I came from a motocross and snowmobile background, fast speed all my life, and you put the goggles on, it's like an outer body experience. The full body rush, the trembling of your hands, and it's learning to control your nerves a lot.
The next 3 level races will continue in other cities before heading to the World Championship competition.
To watch the episodes on these races and find out the results, go to the website at www.thedroneracingleague.com. One man's treasure isn't always someone else's, especially when it comes to tossing things in public places. Some residents made it a point to keep Holly Park clean. Zarina Carazada has more.
While most come here to have fun and play games, today, some came to Holly Park to find what was left behind.
Walking around the park, it seems like it was pretty well picked up, but there's concentrations of garbage in a few small spots, usually out of view.
Now some volunteers are still working hard, as you can see behind me, filling a truck full of debris, keeping some of these corners in the parks a little bit cleaner.
As you can see, someone's taken the initiative to dump some trash here, and so we really took it upon ourselves, or tried to clean it up.
After a few recent visits, Jordan Riedel and his wife noticed trash collecting near the railroad tracks. They realized it was more than a 2-person job, so they came back with a few extra hands for Holly Park's cleanup day.
We really wanted to make this park somewhere where people could come and just enjoy themselves and not have to look at trash.
More than 10 volunteers, including council member Olivia Valentine, sifted through the park's grass and hidden corners, picking up what they could and hauling away what they couldn't.
There were a lot of things that, residents, unfortunately, some residents throw things in the park like cigarette butts, and they were glass, I found.
While Public Works and the Parks Department maintain the overall area, Valentine says it's also the responsibility of residents to keep it litter-free. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Carazada.
A safe, bags of dirt, clothes, and a dresser were a few unusual items found during the cleanup. If you would like more information about future events, visit www.cityofhawthorne.org and click on the Community Events tab. Mychal's Learning Place created a cafe to help prepare their students with job training and employment.
Since its start in December, Mychal's Howl at the Moon Café has been training students from Mychal's Learning Place's adult program, from baking to becoming baristas and running the entire business.
They make all the drinks themselves. They make all the baked goods homemade themselves to the best of their abilities. And we try and step back and just supervise and step in when necessary.
It's a mobile bakery. We can be taken to private parties. We can be taken to events, which would be fun, just anywhere where we'd get business.
How's the experience of making the latte? I mean, it was very yummy. Can you tell me how it feels to be able to make one?
I had to latte a lot. Like serving coffee, tea, and hot chocolate.
The cafe started after the founder of Mychal's Learning Place took a trip to the Pacific Northwest and realized they need to prepare the students for the workforce and decided to open a cafe.
They're just like everybody else, and they need to live successful lives. They want to, and they're capable of that. And so, we owe it to them to give them those opportunities.
Yes, I like working here in the kitchen.
On the average, training takes a couple of weeks, but learning a new skill never really ends.
Now, shake it up.
With the self-esteem and the passion, we believe our students are fully capable of living productive, independent lives.
I love it that we can all work together because we can say we did it.
I'm making the best big fat chewy chocolate chip cookies.
Thus far, probably my proudest moment was a few weeks ago. We were leaving an event and I asked one of my students how he was feeling, and he replied, "I'm feeling confident." And for me, there's nothing more that I would want than that.
Good. It makes me feel special and comfortable.
Through the cafe, one student is now a part-time barista employed by Mychal's and are hoping to be able to get more students hired as time goes on.
We're hoping that as this business grows, we can be able to provide jobs and opportunities for some of our students that will create space for other individuals in our community, because we want to help as many people as possible.
To enjoy the delicious baked goods or a latte, visit them at either the Torrance or Gardena Farmers Market, or you can also find them at many events. To learn more about Mychal's Howl at the Moon Café and where they will be next, go to their website at www.mychals.org. When we return, one former Olympian helps young girls stay active. One former Olympian helps the next generation of gymnasts get their feet wet and dreaming of gold. Kathleen Mendoza has more on the story.
Stretching, flipping, and running, students in the Rhythmic Gymnastics class got their first taste of Dulce Verarrey, a former Cuban Olympian at the Hawthorne Recreation Center.
They're going to be practicing flexibility, coordination, strength, dance. So it's an amazing base for them to have for their whole life.
These young girls got a chance to learn from an expert while they're still going with the flow.
I really enjoy working with the teachers and just doing gymnastics.
When the girls get excited, so do their parents.
She is a very shy girl, so this has worked out for the best because her self-esteem is a lot better. She gets to enjoy this activity with a lot of girls her age, so she really likes it.
Even though they are having a lot of fun, one grandma says it keeps her granddaughter active.
It avoids having them spend so much time on their cell phones and watching TV, and has them exercising their body and mind.
To keep them distracted, instructors brought in hula hoops and ribbons.
It's not just only learning mobility, flexibility, and agility. It's also to have an element that beautifies the moves.
Girls find it rewarding as they perfect their skills on the floor.
Anyone could learn how to do this. They just need to keep on practicing and practicing, and then they can do it.
Parents say Dulce's love for teaching comes through in the class, and Dulce says she plans to teach for a very long time. For HCTV, I'm Kathleen Mendoza.
More than 20 girls attended the class. For more information on Rhythmic Gymnastics, visit www.cityofhawthorne.org and click on the Recreation and Community Service tab for the class schedule. South Bay Ford Lincoln held a charity event. Daniel Lindley was there to test drive some cars.
The sound of engines could be heard around the South Bay Ford Lincoln lot as the dealership shifted its fundraiser into overdrive.
The South Bay Ford Lincoln, in conjunction with the Lincoln Motor Company, a charity event called Driven to Give, donating $20 for every test drive of a Lincoln model.
Participants were able to choose from 10 different models, clean, gas, and ready, waiting for people to come and put them to the test.
The more people coming in, actually, the more money that Lincoln would donate. So we hope a lot of people come over and test drive these Lincolns today.
In previous years, up to $8,000 has been donated through this charity event.
Our goal is to do 300 test drives. 300 test drives times 20 will be $6,000, and then we're also going to double up. If somebody takes an MKX, if you see one here, for another test drive, we'll double up and do $40 to the Parks and Rec.
According to Richard Hune, the president of Hawthorne Parks and Recs, donation will help with the funding for improvements being made to the city's parks.
We really appreciate this event so that we can pick up some more money for our foundation to help the parks in the city.
I think it'll probably just complement some of our existing projects, which of course is replacement of equipment in parks, updating it, keeping the ball fields well maintained, and then again the swim lessons, because they're not cheap.
Every test drive today helps raise money for the Hawthorne Parks and Rec Foundation. So I decided to take one out for a spin. For HCTV, I'm Daniel Lindley.
If you would like to support or donate to the foundation, contact Richard Hune at 310-643-9157. HCTV is both pleased and saddened to announce that a reporter and host, Kelley Moody, accepted a reporter position for KESQ News Channel 3 and CBS Local 2 in Palm Springs. Moody joined our news team in 2015. Viewers may be familiar with her work as she reported and anchored for City News and was the host for Council Recap. We wish her the best of luck at her new station. She will be missed. Keep it right here on Channel 22 for these future city news stories. We'll take you to this year's Relay for Life. Also see what happened at the Richstone Peer-to-Peer Walkathon. That does it for this edition of City News. Thanks for watching. If you have any story ideas, please call us at 310-349-1630. Don't forget you can watch City News online on YouTube by searching Hawthorne Community Television. We'll leave you now with highlights from this year's Parks and Recreation Foundation Golf Tournament. See you next time.